Welcome to a conversation with Senator Gene Yaw. Today, we're in Susquehanna County, which is in the northeastern part of Pennsylvania. It's one of the smaller counties, has a population of about 44,000 people. Specifically, where we are is right here in Montrose, which is the county seat of Susquehanna County. And the purpose of our visit today is to just show the impact of the gas industry, from the schools to the hospital to the homeowners and the pipelines that are being put in. We think that it's a very, very interesting story of the impact on a small rural Pennsylvania community. I'm with George Stark from Cabot Oil and Gas, and one of the things that we wanted to establish here today and kind of talk about is the effect that the gas industry has had on this small community here of Montrose. And I know the sign in the background is Cabot Medical office building. What's been Cabot's involvement in this community? How long have you been here?
Sure.
What have you done, and what's your impression of the impact of the gas industry here in this part of northeastern Pennsylvania?
Sure. Senator, we started here robustly in 2009, and Cabot had made a commitment to what community would mean for the area. And when we think about community, it's jobs, wages being paid, education, and healthcare. You need those things to have a strong community. So we've done our darndest to bring in workers, hire local. We're about 250 employees right here in the Susquehanna County area. But to grow and to attract talent to this area, we wanted to make certain that things like the medical building are here. So we've invested in that to, again, help grow the area.
Well, your comment about investment is really, that's kind of important, because being the senator for this area, and I mean, I can't help but remember what the hospital used to be like here.
Sure.
And the people here, I mean, they did the best that they could, but the hospital here, frankly, was a series of houses that were interconnected. And now we got this beautiful medical facility, and I know that Cabot was very instrumental in even just getting it built, the location and everything.
It was a total community effort, because Cabot said, understood that the hospital needed to be built, the new facility, but we went to our partners in the community, from businesses and contractors, but also the landowners. We had landowners that are receiving royalties that contributed $100,000 to this building behind us. So in 4 months' time, we were able to raise $4.4 million. Cabot put up 2.2, but between the community and others, you saw an additional $2.2 million raised. And that gets back to the investment of not only ourselves and our contractors, but also the landowners, and how well Shell is doing for the entire area.
Now, there's one other thing I know that Cabot does for the community, and that's you have a picnic in the summertime.
We do.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. The goal was early on to try to get folks to understand about our industry. Drilling for natural gas is unique in Susquehanna County. Doesn't have a long history. So with that said, we were doing rig tours. Once a week, we were taking 25 people out, and we realized there won't be enough weeks to get everyone out. So why don't we turn this around and bring the picnic, everything that we brought on a rig tour, to one location. And the first year, we were at Montrose High School, and we thought maybe 500 people would show up. 2,500 people later, we recognized there was a real need for education and understanding and appreciation. And it has grown. Last year, we had almost 10,000 people out for 4 hours. So it's been a huge success, and it allows us to showcase and demonstrate seismic activity, drilling, protections you place into it, the curriculums that schools have for junior achievement or Susquehanna County Career and Technology Center. It allows parents, students, community leaders to really see firsthand the impacts of the industry.
And I know on the way here today, I drove by Cabot's building, a pretty significant new office building. And tell me a little bit
Yes.
about that.
So again, when we started in '09, we took over a small building, and quickly we were putting 3 people per office in that building. So today, as you drove here, you would have seen what is going to be a $4 million building. We should have the ribbon on that cut in this summer, and it's designed to house 125 employees. Now, we won't start out with 125, but we'll grow to 125. That's just the understanding of how long we'll be here, how long we'll be invested in the community, and hopefully that building does showcase the commitment to the community.
Well, I think your comment about that, how long you'll be here is a good one. If you're building a facility like that, the appearances are that Cabot plans on being here for some significant period of time into the future. So
you're absolutely right. We could see ourselves in the drilling side upwards of 30 years, just on the drilling side.
Well, that's what we want to establish. We just want to talk about the impact that the industry has had on the people and the way of life in this community, because I know that Montrose was founded in the early 1800s, and the population stayed somewhere between 1500 and 1900 ever since then. So there hasn't been a big change, and I think that what's gone on with the gas industry probably is going to be a significant change in the lifestyle here in this area.
I would agree to that, and I think one of the things that we're most proud of is having the Marcellus Shale underneath our feet, yet bringing it to local use. That's the best piece. You know, in '07 and '08, there was no natural gas service in the area. We discovered the sweetest spot in the Marcellus, so we're producing a tremendous amount of gas, but the real benefit is now we're able to take that gas and utilize it here at the medical building and throughout the community. Another win-win.
I'm just guessing at this, but the primary energy source here is probably natural gas.
It is natural gas. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you,
George. I'm with Rex Catlin, the Chief Executive Officer of the hospital here. And Rex, this is obviously, it's a very beautiful, it's a new hospital. And what's the involvement of the gas industry as far as construction or making this hospital come into existence?
Well, the gas industry was very involved from the standpoint of actually helping us fund part of this facility. If you're aware of our old facility, coming to this facility, what a tremendous...
I am aware of your old facility.
So it's a tremendous, absolutely tremendous project for the community and the county. The gas industry, we were in a position where we were going to build a hospital and a medical office building. We had the hospital funded. We talked to Cabot because we did not have funding for the medical office building. We had a meeting with them. We were called the next day and told that they were very interested in the project. They actually took the project under their wing. They contributed directly themselves. They developed a community match program. They ran the community match program. All in all, with what they raised came with all sources for that project came to almost $5.5 million, which really constructed the medical office building so we could build both pieces at the same time. In a rural area, it works much better, certainly, to have the medical office building attached to the facility.
Well, I remember talking to you and other hospital people years ago, and one of your primary problems here was recruitment with the old facility. And to be very honest about it, I'm not sure if I were a doctor I would have wanted to come to practice in that facility either. But I mean, I understand you were doing the best that you could at the time, but have you had any experience with recruiting so far with this facility?
Well, we have. In addition to, I think as far as employment, I think our original projection was that within 18 months we would add 30 employees. We've already exceeded that. I think right now we're at 37 or some number due to increased volumes, increased services. We've been able to add specialties that prior to this we were not able to bring into the area. We've added pulmonary medicine, we've added GYN, we have podiatry that will be joining us here. So we have been able to add some specialties that prior to having a facility like this for them to work in, we could not convince them before.
This facility, I mean, it's obviously in rural Pennsylvania, but if it weren't here, what's the closest that people would have to go, or how far would they have to travel to get medical care?
Well, basically everything else is approximately 30 minutes.
30 minutes away.
30 minutes to Tunkhannock, 30 minutes to Susquehanna, 30 minutes to Binghamton, New York, 50 minutes to Scranton. So minimally 30 minutes. By the time you drive and you park, it's probably more like 50 minutes.
I think a lot of times people forget that actually where we are here is we're probably closer to Binghamton, New York. Well, as you said, we're closer to Binghamton, New York than we are to Scranton.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. It sounds like things are going well. The facility, I know I toured it before it was really open, before you moved the patients in, and it's state of the art, beautiful, and it is certainly a great improvement over what you had before.
It's a tremendous addition to the area.
Peter, tell me a little bit about this facility that you have here, this building. How's the foundation here, and how long have you been here? I mean, it's beautiful.
It's a nice building. The building was built in the 1850s as a summer home for Philadelphia people. Montrose was an enclave for Philadelphia people for years, back in the railroad days. The foundation was donated this building about 10 or 12 years ago. The foundation has existed since 1998. And this is our home. The bottom floor where we are now is used for meetings, receptions, seminars, conferences, those sorts of things. Our offices are upstairs on the second floor, as is our boardroom.
It is beautiful. I mean, and the renovations here are just terrific. And how long has the foundation been here now?
Since 1998.
What we're talking about today is we're trying to just talk a little bit about what, if any, impact the gas industry has had on the foundation, or on your observation of what's going on in the community, how the community acts or reacts to it.
Sure.
Love to have your comments.
Here at the Community Foundation, we had our first donation of gas-related proceeds in 2008. For the most part, the families who have come to us to fulfill their charitable plans it's interesting. They have deep roots in this area. Their names are familiar. Their family names are on the creeks, on the mountains, on the townships, on the ponds. They really are. And these folks have wanted to do some things for their communities that they haven't been able to do before. We're helping churches, fire departments, libraries, hospitals, college scholarships, and a handful of what we refer to as donor-advised funds, which gives a donor flexibility in supporting their favorite charities.
You mentioned to me when we were speaking earlier that you remember the date, some date in 2008, for a specific reason. What's the background of that?
That was November of 2008, and a husband and wife who were at that time in their 80s helped each other off the elevator into our office, and they established a fund to help the music program in their church, the Methodist Church here in Montrose, as well as a college scholarship for the wife's alma mater of Houghton College, where she went to school.
What was the genesis of why did they want to do that, or where did the funds come from, or what happened?
That was, again, they were in their 80s and set in life, and they had signed a gas lease. That was before drilling had taken place, and they brought what's called their signing bonus to us to set up these two endowments.
Has that, I mean, this area, the gas industry here, there was never anything like it here before. Is that fairly typical, or has that happened more in your experience since they've been here?
It's happened more. We've had a steady flow of families who have come to us. Most recently, we've had two families come to us, one from Susquehanna County, one from Wyoming County. One family is establishing a donor-advised fund. Another family is helping Habitat for Humanity.
Have you ever had, I mean, prior to that, you've been here for quite a while, have you had that type of community activity or community support for the foundation? And prior to the
Yes
gas
and
industry?
no. I mean, we were having activity. When I came on board here in 2009, we had 45 funds. Now we're managing 160. So there's been a steady growth all along. Has the gas industry helped that? Yes, it has. It really has.
Has it changed just the way that the community deals with issues here? And I mean, obviously, probably the gem here is the new hospital, to move it out of town and build a new hospital. And I know that they were instrumental in that. But has that whole, that concept, has that changed the way that people look at the community?
I think it has. Yeah, I mean, there's employment. There's not just the charity and the philanthropy that we're working with here in our office, but there's a general sense of employability in the area. Obviously, in the beginning, some of the on the ground, in the trenches employees were from out of the area because they knew the industry.
Sure.
That's changing. You mentioned the hospital. The other sort of gem in the area is Lycoming College and their campus that they have. Those are all local people, and they're not just kids. They're not just high school and college kids. There are adults, second careers, retraining, these sorts of things.
I'm Ben Davenport, and I'm from Montrose. I'm here at Lackawanna College, and I completed my first year. It's a great program. It's such a big field. It's because I'm local, that I like to be part of it. That's the whole thing, of just be part of what's out there. I hope that when I get done here with the school, I'll be able to go right out in the field. So get a head start. I hope to be full of knowledge, so when I get out there, I'll know everything.
I'm learning about downhole. We learn a bit about compression, safety. Safety's a big thing out on the pad. I mean, I'm 47 years old and I come here. Most of it's kids out of high school or maybe early 30s that come here, but even there's some that's actually older than I am. There's 2 in my class that are older than I am. I hope I'm going to be able to get a job and make a good living.
I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania. I've been in the Montrose area, oh boy, 20 some odd years. And nobody could spell Marcellus, let alone say it. But yeah, it's been an interesting couple of years. And then looking down the line, I think things can be done in a more responsible manner because, see, we're in the shadow of coal country down in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre,
Yes.
and have that heritage and legacy. And we're also in the shadow of Endicott Johnson and IBM up in the Binghamton area. And so we can learn some lessons from the way things were done in generations past and move forward in a responsible way.
Well, we hopefully we're doing things the right way, or at least we're trying to do them the right way. We're in the center of Montrose. This is the courthouse, and I'm with the chairman of the county commissioners here in Susquehanna County. So, Alan, good to have
Senator
you.
Yaw, it's a pleasure to be with you today.
Good to have you. And now what we've been talking about is the impact of the gas industry, if any, in this community and on this county.
Listen, it's been a huge plus to this county and the communities in all of Susquehanna County. The number of jobs it's created, the income levels of these positions for these people has just been wonderful. The local businesses, hardware stores that have doubled and tripled in size, restaurants, the gas stations, all the industries and the retail stores are all thriving because of this business that's come. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What's happened for Susquehanna County is because of the Act 13 and because of the money coming into the county and the municipalities, we've been able to improve roads, improve infrastructure. The county itself is looking at programs now where because of that income, we will not have to go into huge debts to take and renovate buildings and do other things. We've been able to free up other revenues. So it's just been something that will be a positive to the taxpayers for many, many years to come.
You also mentioned that you're in the process of converting the the courthouse over to natural gas.
Yes, absolutely. Our courthouse is extremely old. Our one heating system is a coal furnace that's 110 years old. We have to shovel coal twice a day into a hopper. We have 8 fuel oil tanks in the other end of the building that uses fuel oil. We use about 8,000 gallons a month. This is going to be a huge savings to the taxpayers in Susquehanna County.
Boy, I can imagine. And using a Pennsylvania resource to serve Pennsylvanians, that's kind of unique.
We couldn't ask for a better situation. We love to see resources from Pennsylvania used in Pennsylvania, and when we can buy local, which we're going to do with this natural gas, we will be buying local. You just can't get it any better than that.
You have a unique company here called Leather Stocking that kind of they came into the community with the idea that we can help supply natural gas to distribution. Can you talk a little bit about that and what they've done here?
Absolutely. Leather Stocking is a company that's come into Susquehanna County and has worked with us to provide natural gas services to the communities. They've been able to work with the larger companies, the big companies that are providing the gas, and get the transmission lines we need into the communities. They've already started with our brand new hospital. We've got natural gas there now. Our high school in Montrose. They're working on a project in New Milford Borough now. They're working on projects in Montrose, which is going to bring natural gas to the businesses and to the homes, which is going to really help, especially the people who are on fixed incomes, to reduce their heating costs and save them some money.
Well, I think that they kind of have a unique outlook on the way to provide services here, because gas has been here for a long time, but nobody ever had the interest to go ahead and do the distribution of it. So,
well, that's it. You're exactly right. And Leather Stocking, they're just like family people that want to come in here and work with everybody and work in a good partnership to try and do what's right for the community.
We're here today talking about the kind of the impact of the gas industry and what it's done and how it's affected, I guess, life here in Susquehanna County. And I know your organization is involved in housing. So, I mean, has it affected you or what you do or what your organization does? And, and could you give us a little bit of a background?
Yeah, our agency is a community action agency in Choteau. So we're a nonprofit developer. And we're also on the ground working with people that are impacted by the housing shortage because of the workers coming into the area. Mm-hmm. So we do direct work with low-income elderly and families to assist with rental assistance. But in addition to that, we're a developer. We've been fortunate to secure funding for a development in Susquehanna County, Tiffany Pines. It's a 40-unit development, basically 2 and 3 bedrooms, and we'll be ready to rent up later on this year. Now, the neat thing about it is, obviously, is that it's all gas. We expect that families are going to save up to 40 to 50% on their heating bills, and everybody's excited about that.
And this is a facility, I mean, before the gas industry came here, that wasn't on the books, or was it planned or not planned?
When we basically tried to develop housing in response to some of the Marcellus issues. We have $36 million worth of developments underway in the 5-county area, but we're happy that this is near completion and will rent up by this fall.
How did you, the gas line, what was the process to get it run to this facility? Was it there, or did somebody have to take it upon themselves to get it to you, or how did that work out?
We worked closely with Leather Stocking. They reached out, county government reached out. They were interested because we had 40 units. We have everything in the townhouses are gas. The stoves, the heat, everything. And they reached out to us as sort of an anchor to the process coming in. And again, the lines are in place, and we hope to be operational this fall.
Sounds to me like it was a real community project. You said the county, the private industry, your organization went together in order to make this happen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Iggy is a contractor, local contractor, putting in the pipe. He has his own firm.
What we're doing here is we excavated, and we're going to put tracer wire in, and we're going to put 6 inches of sand on it. We're going to put tracer type. We're going to put tape
Yeah.
And we're gonna backfill, modify it, and we're gonna put topsoil on it. We'll be complete. We have an area of 850 feet. It should take us 7 days, and we should be out of here.
And then, I mean, the people will connect from here into their houses.
This is the
from
main
off-
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people will come in off this line.
How big is the main line?
2 inch.
2 inch?
2 inch line.
Mike, we talked about local contractors, and you said that these are all local people that are
Yes.
you're local.
Well, we're local, yeah.
And your people you hire.
Oh, yeah, they're all local, sure.
How many people do you have working here?
Right now, we have maybe 26 of them. But we're gonna move another crew up here probably Tuesday,
Okay.
and we're gonna start on another section.
Mike, you're the CEO of Leather Stocking. I mean, how did you get involved in this project here in this area? And I mean, it's a pretty, in my opinion, it's a pretty unique project to be bringing this gas service to this kind of the rural community like this.
It's, you know, it's not any foresight on our part. The county officials basically called us up one day and said they wanted gas, and invited us down and said, we need gas in this borough, we need gas in Bridgewater. Are you interested? And we said yes, and we just started going, and it came very quickly. State's been great to work with, the local people have been great to work with, and as was just said, there's a lot of local contractors here who are looking for the work, you know, family-owned businesses, and it just fell together very easily. And as you can see, if you turn around, you know, this is good digging right here.
Yes, it is.
And so the pipe can go in at a very cost-effective rate.
What's interesting, and we try to save the company money and not do much damage, where we shot this apron with a 2-inch bullet, they call it. It's a reamer, it goes right through. Which you can see here, we pull that pipe right under that apron so we don't damage that property.
Right, I see that.
That's what we do a lot because of Mike doesn't want destruction.
So the driveway is not cut, the driveway is not affected. And this will be restored to original condition when they're done. And as you can see, you got a mini out there, so you have a minimal amount of disturbance while this is going on.
Are you expanding beyond the Montrose area, or where you have other projects like this in Susquehanna County or this part of Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we're going to move as quickly as we can because, you know, there's a real appetite here. We came in here and we started marketing about 5 or 6 months ago. We did Bridgewater, the central school, the new hospital, and so we started marketing here, sending out applications 5, 6 months ago. We've got 300 people sign up in no time at all with not a big effort. We're looking at over 200 signing up in New Milford without an effort. So we're going to do the borough of Montrose, Bridgewater this year, and the township of Dimmock this year, including the Elk Lake School. And next year we expect to go into New Milford and finish out these other boroughs and townships.
I understand that there's been some community banks that have gone together to help people with their financing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
We've signed up Trade Allies, and they are working aggressively to try to, and they're local banks, local community banks. They're working very aggressively to loan money to homeowners so they can put in a new furnace, so they couldn't put in the piping to convert to gas. And obviously the homeowners are going to be so much, they're going to have a new furnace potentially, it'll be much more efficient. The fuel will cost less than half, so the money they save will be 4 or 5 times their interest and principal payments. So they make out tremendously, and the local banks have the type of business that they really crave.
Well, I think what's interesting about it is, to my knowledge, there's no state program, there's no federal program, there's no tax credits. It's just that these local banks went together to say, hey, there's a need here and we're going to help people hook up to get natural gas, which is going to be to their benefit.
Yeah, they're local, they know the community, they know the people, and they recognize, you know, a real opportunity, and nobody ever asked for any state or federal money or incentives. They just came in and said, you know, we know what the people need, and that's why we're a local bank, and we're going to give it to them.
Well, good luck with your projects, and thank you. Nice to talk to both of you. Chris, you had quite a project here with this with the Montrose area junior senior high school, and that is you converted over to natural gas.
Yes.
How did that happen, and what's been the benefits of it, or if any?
Okay. Sure. We were approached, obviously, you know, quite an area for natural gas production at the moment. We were approached by a company that was planning on putting the lines in the ground to make natural gas available. So we went through the costs analysis, the conversion costs, and also the costs, ongoing costs for maintenance and, you know, fuel costs. It was very beneficial for the district to go ahead and utilize those resources. So we ended up, you know, approximate 50% savings.
Really? 50%?
From actually a little higher than that, but so we were able to take our budget just at this school specifically from approximately $160,000 a year for fuel oil, which does all of our heating and domestic hot water, and take it down to about $80,000.
Did you have the benefit this winter? Because this winter was pretty tough.
Yes, we did.
Well, somebody had the foresight then to do it at the right time.
Well, I don't know. It was what's available, right? And certainly you can't plan on the weather. The weather this year was very tough, but it still held true. We still are within our budget, so it was good.
Now, I understand this is just one of the schools, that you have plans also to go ahead and convert one of the other schools?
Correct. Yes, this one was the first. It was the first one that we had availability for natural gas, and now the game plan is for them to move on through town, and we have an elementary about a mile from here, Lathrop Street Elementary. We've already done the bidding process for that, and we're going to convert 2 boilers this summer. By August 15th, we're anticipating that we're online.
What's your projected payback period for this conversion?
Well, the one at Lathrop Street will probably be about less than 1.5 years. Our payback for this one's done.
Really? 1 year?
We finished 1 year, yep. Yeah, return on investment is incredibly quick. I mean, you know, you always look at about 10 years if you can. 5 years is great. 1 year is not common, so.
Have you had any problems with it or anything since you did the conversion? Or?
No, sir, no. It's been running along. As a matter of fact, we have less ongoing maintenance because the fuel is cleaner. Whereas if you have, you know, a fuel oil system, you at least yearly maintenance where your nozzles need to be cleaned and to keep the efficiencies. And that's maybe every 3 years. I mean, we do have them inspected and checked, but it's a money savings all around. Those are small items that you don't necessarily think about, but it's an ongoing cost that we don't have to worry about.
We hope that we have provided some insights into the impact that gas has had on this rural Pennsylvania community. I'm Senator Gene Yaw. Thank you for joining us.